up, everybody? Jake from StratGeeks coming at you once again, this time with a brand new strategy called Pulse. So this strategy we basically invented because the markets have been absolutely insane lately. I mean, they haven't been this volatile since, you can go back and look, they haven't been this volatile since pre-COVID, during COVID. So we wanted to be able to have a strategy that can thrive under these types of market conditions, and we also want a strategy that can do well during these market conditions, which ORS does. So ORS is our first strategy, and it does fine, but we wanted a strategy that could really capitalize on these big moves for the last 60, 70, 80, 90 days or so. So this strategy is it's momentum and trend based. So we're looking for big pushes to the upside or the downside. We have a static first target, and then we have a runner target. We can see that exemplified here in this massive 5-minute MNQ trade. I mean, if we look here at the first target, 895 ticks, and our runner closes out at 371. So we're only using 2 micros. So this trade alone, actually, this gets us to our $900 threshold where we're going to stop for the day anyway. So let's look at 180 days of performance, like we always do with all of our strategies here at StratGeeks. Pretty sure I still have 180 days. Yeah, loaded. Okay, there you go. So we're about 17 grand, draw down about 1,000, 2.11 profit factor, average winner 239, average loser 131, 53%, 54% win rate or so. But that's not as consequential, the percentage of wins. I mean, it's still nice that we're over 50%, but look at the size of our average winner versus our average loser. So, but we can see in the last 60 to 90 days, look at how it just absolutely crushes. You know, and this is right around in here is when the tariffs talks started. You know, things started getting pretty crazy. You know, Trump got in like right around in here or so, and then like it was pretty crazy. But when those tariff talks, even the news of the coming tariffs started to hit the markets, I mean, look at what Pulse did. Just absolutely crushes. And last week I actually ran it live on a few PA accounts and ended up the week with 1,600 for the week across multiple accounts. So that was a great week. So hopefully this week we'll have that crushed again. And yeah, so let's look at how this thing takes its trade. So with Pulse, no need to worry about the opening range. Now, I do have some ideas that we can go over in a later video on how to use ORS and Pulse at the same time. And by the way, right now we're offering, if anybody wants to sign up for ORS, you sign up for ORS, you also get Pulse for the same exact price. Still 50% off your first month with ORS. But for the time being, not sure how much longer, probably not much longer, because we're about to partner up with a very well-known indicator company out there, and once that happens, we're going to get listed on their site. Once that happens, then we're definitely going to be separating these two strategies out and charging differently. So what I like most about this strategy is that we even though we're using runner targets here, we're not using a market order exit. We're using a sell stop or a buy stop, almost like it's a phantom. It's a phantom. So in this case, this is a buy trade. So in this case, it's a phantom sell stop that appears almost magically as soon as this candle closes, almost like an auto trail, but it's not actually trailing. So as soon as this candle closes, bam, we get out of the market with essentially a limit order. And we actually get into the market here instead of, you know, most strategies that work with a runner target like this, that without a grid system like ORS, you'll just get in on a market order as soon as this candle closes. But instead, we're waiting for a very quick pullback to this line right here. This is a little bit of a weird one because it's a doji here, but we're waiting for a really quick pullback to a limit order. So as soon as this candle closes, this is our signal candle right here. You can see that little green arrow, and I'll explain this here in a second. But as soon as that little green arrow, that's the pulse buy arrow. As soon as that shows up, we're placing a limit order, a set amount of ticks back from that candle close. In this case, it's 0 ticks, so we get right in. But you can see it's barely. You know, with a market order strategy, which are most of the other ones that I've ever developed, besides ORS, of course, and most of the stuff out there, it's just a lazy way of making a strategy. And the backtest, if you're lucky, is going to be 50, 60s, maybe 70% accurate. I kind of even doubt that. But as soon as that candle closes, we place a limit order right here. So we still have to wait for it to pull back, because with the NASDAQ, it's possible that the price closes here, doesn't even pull back 1 tick, and just keeps going and going and going. And if you're using a market order for your backtest, it'll count that as an entry. But, here it will not. We really need that pullback. So what do we need to enter a trade here? So let's get rid of all this for a sec. Now, just like ORS, we need to be closing above the moving averages. There's 2 moving averages here. There's a primary and a secondary. The primary is this light green. Secondary is the dark green, I believe. But we need to be closing above both of those. It's kind of hard to see here, but you can see it. You can see it crossing over here. So we're closing above, and both are green. So it's for sloping up. So A, closing above, B, both are sloping up, green. And then finally, we need the pulse buy arrow. And you can see there's another buy arrow there. Here's a pulse sell arrow. So it's either going to be a sell or a buy. There's no overlap. So there's a sell to here. And then here's the next sell arrow here. So then it would be from that arrow to here. Okay, so as soon as we have the confluence of the moving averages closing above and both green, then Pulse will plot that arrow here. Now, to see, so the Pulse indicator down here, it's super tight. So we got to zoom way in to see the cross. Very sensitive indicator. It's proprietary. It's a super awesome momentum trend indicator. Still got to zoom in. There it is. There's the cross. Right there. So that cross creates this arrow. Okay. Let's get back here. And now how do we place the target? The target, so this is our candle of significance right here. This candle will dictate our stops and our target. So if we get our special fib tool out, we'll measure this candle from the top to the wick. And right now the settings are 2.75, but you can look at it like 3.75 because it actually accounts for 1 candle first. So, and then we got to pull this back to where the actual entry was. So there you can see it. 1, 2, 3.75 times the size of the entry candle is the first target here. So we exit 1 position here, and then we hold that runner position until we get a pulse sell arrow. In this case, we actually, we don't make as much off the runner. Sometimes you'll make more off the runner. But what's cool about this is we have it set up for prop firms on PA accounts. For 50K, you don't want to trade. You don't want profits bigger than 30%, or we'll call it right around $900. So I have my R trader set to 900 maximum profit for the day to stay in line with the consistency rules. So on this particular day, with 2 micros, just these 2 positions exiting, so basically we'd be at 900 right here. this trade wouldn't even bother closing. So the way that it works with NinjaTrader is that we do have a session P&L on the settings for Pulse, but that trade has to close first. So we wouldn't trade any more we wouldn't take any more trades after this trade closes because we're over the session P&L. I have the session P&L set to 500, but on our trader I have it set to 900. So our trader in those accounts would close here. I mean, 2 micros on NASDAQ per tick is 900. 900 is 900 basically. So we'd be like a couple ticks below the target even, and then we'd actually be out. Our accounts would shut down for 900 profit here. We wouldn't even have to worry about this position. It would just pre-close on our trader accounts. And then our stop is set a particular distance away from the wick here of the signal candle or candle of significance. So I'm not going to give away exactly what that distance is, but we'll just say it's down here. And once you sign up with us, and I'll show you all the details. But I wanted to just show one trade there. What else we got here? So this trade enters here. Here's our candle of significance. And you can see we never get to our profit target. And our entry would be here. Profit target would have been up here. So we actually exit both positions at the sell arrow here for a profit of, I don't know, 20 ticks or so. But what we're after here are these big moves with this recent volatility. So yeah, stay tuned. Just wanted to make a short video announcing the release of Pulse for now. Shoot me a DM via Discord and get in touch with me, and I'll give you a discount code for 50% off the first month with ORS, and you will get Pulse at no additional charge, probably for the next week or two. Let me show you how to get in contact with me real quick here. Okay, so to get in contact with me, go to StratGeeks.ai, and then right here at the top, click this Discord link, join our Discord server, and send me a direct message, Jake at ORS. You can also email me, traderjake1@gmail.com. Actually, 1traderjake@gmail.com. The number 1traderjake@gmail.com. But the best way to get a hold of me, just shoot me a message on Discord. Join our Discord server. It's free. Shoot me that message, and I will get you a 50% off discount code, and you'll be able to get ORS Fusion and Pulse. Pulse isn't even listed on our website yet. So, yeah, just wanted to show you guys that here. Let me show you 60 days too. Like 60 days is insane because the last 60 days is when the markets were so nuts. Or when they started getting nuts. Maybe 90 days, but either way, whatever. Well, let's look at 60 days before we go. So 60 days performance with just Pulse. Now I am working on ways to combine Pulse and ORS at the same time. So 13 grand, this isn't taking into consideration maximum $900 days, but some people are not going to have to deal with that. But just straight off the bat, 60 days, 13.7, max drawdown 924, profit factor 3.47, no market orders, only limit buy/sell stops, and there we have it. There is Pulse. I will talk to you guys in the next video.